Good evening. I'm calling this meeting to order. This is Dr. Jennifer Jones, Board President. First item on the agenda is roll call.
All right.
Oh, Lakeisha Phillips, Director, District 3.
Eric Gollings, Director, District 1.
Jennifer Jones, Director, District 2.
Fruity Davis, Director, District 4.
Annie Pfeiffer, Superintendent.
Next is the presentation of colors by the Federal Way High School, JROTC. Please rise if you are able.
Okay. Halt. Left. Peace. Breathe in. Colors. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. And the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Hey, colors. Dismount. Colors. Right. Peace. Forward. Colors. Forward. March.
You may now be seated. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting agenda. At this time, we'll entertain a motion.
I move the Board of Education approve the meeting agenda of April 28, 2026 as submitted.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the required approvals agenda. At this time, we'll entertain a motion.
I move the Board of Education approve the required approval agenda of April 28, 2026 as submitted.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll
Any
second.
discuss- Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is school welcome, Silver Lake Elementary, Dr. Pfeiffer.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here at Silver Lake Elementary this evening. So thank to the staff and the students for hosting us. I'm going to invite Principal Courtney Thomas up to do our school welcome. She's going to highlight the strengths and opportunities for growth here at Silver Lake. Principal Tom.
Good evening, Board President Dr. Jones, member of the board, Superintendent Dr. Pfeiffer, and scholar representatives to the board. Welcome to Silver Lake, home of the Bulldogs. I'm going too fast here. In our Bulldog family, we have 367 students, 56 staff members, 20 languages spoken. Our special programs are our Bright Futures Kindergarten, and we have after-school clubs of soccer and track. Some of our Silver Lake goals are increasing math and ELA achievement, decreasing disproportionality and discipline, increasing our attendance, and increasing that sense of belonging for our students. We're getting after these goals through MTSS, rigorous PLCs, really including and elevating our scholar voice and ownership of learning, and collaborating and partnering with our families, and having courageous conversations. We've had a lot of professional development this year, really digging into our Wonders curriculum, focusing on what Tier 1 instruction looks like, specifically with our small groups, partnering with Belong Partners to make sure all of our families are included, and starting a mentoring program. Really important to me is making sure that our scholars really feel that safety and that sense of belonging. We have started a robust check-in, check-out system. A code green is when we get a radio call for something amazing that's happening in the classroom to come and celebrate with the kids. launching regulation stations in all classrooms, so formerly known as calm down corners, making sure that all of our kids know how to monitor and self-regulate. We launched a PBIS store for all of our scholars to purchase items when they earn a Barks Buck. We have our scholar advisory that really help us lead a lot of our assemblies and our fun events that we have at Silver Lake. We have a monthly Bulldog Leader Luncheon. We have focused SEL lessons in all of our classrooms every morning and offer alternative recess options for our kids. So we have open gym, we have music exploration, and recess with a counselor. We had our first ever attend dance this year, really promoting attendance, and then celebrating attendance at our PBIS assemblies as well. Some of our learning successes, looking at our mid-year data, we had 66% of our scholars making annual typical growth in reading and 48% in math. We had 132 scholars making more than 50% towards our stretch goal, so helping to close that achievement gap, and 77 scholars making more than 50% in math. We had 149 scholars improve their reading placement and 106 scholars improve their math placement. And where we really grew was our students that are reading in a tier 3 category. They had 83% growth towards their annual typical growth just in January at the halfway mark. So we're really excited about that growth they're making. We have a really strong community here at Silver Lake. They love all of our family and evening events. This year we've had trunk or treat, a friendship dance, math night, literacy night. We have an upcoming writing showcase night, and lunch with families every month. All of our scholars have goals that they've co-created with their families and teachers. We work really closely with Belong Partners to ensure that we are training up our parents and making sure that they have the same common language that we're using in the class to help kids with their communication and their regulation. We just started a new series where we are training some parent leaders so that they can lead family helping family circles throughout the summer. We're using our Panorama survey to guide our family engagement opportunities and partnering with Grace Church. They really helped us launch our PBIS store. We have a wonderful scholar advisory. And some of the things that we've learned from our scholars is that they love opportunities to lead. They help us lead our morning assembly, PBIS assemblies, and a lot of our special events. Our students love their teachers and feel really supported, and they love having spirit days and lots of fun events. They feel like Lexia and iReady has really helped them feel more prepared, and they really like breakfast in the classroom, which was new this year. And they really enjoy all of the alternate recess options. Now it's time for our Scholar Showcase. We have some of our Bulldog scholars that are going to be singing our Silver Lake song by the shores of Silver Lake. But first, you're going to hear from some of our scholar advisors on what they think Silver Lake, why they think Silver Lake is so amazing.
Hi, my name is Taylin. I think Silver Lake is a special place because I love how they support pride, all cultures, and ensuring that we have fun and can learn, like learning long division and multiplication. Hi, my name is Maddie, and I think Silver Lake is a special place because the teachers make sure everyone feels like they belong. For example, teachers treat everyone with respect. Another example is teachers treat everyone fairly. That's why I think Silver Lake is a special place. They can also make learning fun by Kahoot or Blooket. That's why teachers are nice and fun. I think Silver Lakes is a special place because every year we get snow cones. I think PE is my favorite because we do fun things and math's my favorite subject. And the funnest thing we've done this year was the salmon field trip, and the staff is so nice. Hi, my name is Jasmine, and I think Silver Lake is a special place because it's safe and the staff are kind and loving. I have learned so much over the past 2 years at Silver Lake Elementary School. I am looking forward to learning even more and getting ready for middle school. I believe that the staff here will keep me motivated and help me earn good grades. I'm confident I'll do great in middle school because of their support. Go Bulldog! Hi, my name is Lexi, and I know Silver Lake is a special place because the teachers are wonderful and so are the students. I hope Silver Lake will never change when I go to middle school. I will always have Silver Lake in my heart.
Hi, my name is Leo, and I think Silver Lake is a special place because they support everyone, they treat everybody equally, the staff is kind, and the students can learn and have fun.
My name is Marsha, and I think Silver Lake is a special place because everyone accepts people for their differences. The teachers are wonderful, the students are kind. It's the best school I've ever been to, and the learning is top tier.
All right, now we're going to hear from our students, our school song, The Shores of Silver Lake.
By the shores of Silver Lake, I find my deepest treasure. Everything I want to be can be found inside of me. Look around and I can see good things without measure. In this special place I find jewels for my heart and mind. With my friends, I can go to the top. Watch me grow like a tree, standing tall. I'll be strong, never fall. By the shores of Silver Lake, I find my deepest treasure. Everything I want to be can be found inside of me. Look around and I can see good things without measure. In this special place I find jewels for my heart and mind. Jewels for my heart and mind.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Scholars of Silver Lake. Next item on our agenda is the Because of You Awards. Dr. Pfeiffer.
Yes, thank you very much. Board team, in addition to our good news announcements, this is one of my favorite items on our agenda to celebrate our incredible staff. As you know, the Scholar Advisory to the Superintendent created the Because of You Award, which allows scholars in grades 3 through 12 to nominate any educator that has gone above and beyond in order to be recognized. Jessica Morgan, our Chief Communications Officer, will share these nominations this evening. If the board could join me in the front.
Good evening, Board President Dr. Jones, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. Pfeiffer. The scholars on the advisory to the superintendent created the Because of You award process, which allows scholars in grades 3 through 12 to nominate any educator in the Federal Way Public Schools to be recognized by the superintendent in partnership with the school board. This allows educators who go above and beyond in supporting their scholars and/or positively impacting their community to receive the recognition they deserve. Every month, all of the nominations are reviewed by the advisory to the superintendent officers, and the most impactful nominees are chosen to be given this award. We will now acknowledge our Because of You award recipients. We would like to call Madeline Brost, teacher at Rainier View Elementary School, forward to be recognized. She was nominated by scholar Logan Johnson, who shared that Miss Frost is very nice and kind. Her help with reading and writing has made Logan enjoy going to school. Because of you, Logan enjoys going to school every day. Next, we would like to call Lee Bay, teacher at Decatur High School, forward to be recognized. Okay. She was nominated by Timothy Lee. Timothy shares that Mrs. Bay's warmth transformed his rough mornings, and her willingness to help with other classes shows true care. By asking deep why questions during scholar-led conferences, she creates an engaging environment that pushes him to pursue his passions. Because of you, Timothy has achieved an immeasurable level of self-improvement at Decatur High School. Next, we would like to call Brooke Ho, teacher at Olympic View K-8, forward to be recognized. She was nominated by scholar Eleni Enyo, who appreciates how Miss H ensures every student understands the material, even in a split grade classroom. Whether through cocoa parties or rewards for reaching Cougar Paw goals, she makes learning rewarding and proves vital stability. Because of you, Eleni has mastered standard algorithm multiplication and has achieved success in ELA. Next, we would like to call Kelly Egas, teacher at Federal Way High School, forward to be recognized. She was nominated by scholars Janaya Holto and Usra Daoud. Her scholars share that Miss Egas ensures everyone has a safe space at school, greeting them daily with kindness. As an ASB advisor, she shows deep consideration for what students are going through and is always ready to stand up for them, fostering a sense of security and belonging. Because of you, your students feel empowered and confident in their work every day. Now we would like to call Han Ross, teacher at Valhalla Elementary School. He was nominated by Kenna Snyder, who shares that Mr. Ross's engaging activities make the school day go by quickly, and he motivates students by taking ownership of their own learning. By fostering a creative environment, he has given Kenna the confidence to believe she could one day publish a book. Because of you, Kenna feels more confident and believes she can go for it in her education.
Next item on the agenda is good news announcements. Director Keisha Phillips.
Okay, we are thrilled to celebrate Rena Pademas, a dedicated educator at Thomas Jefferson High School, who has recently been named the best high school teacher in the 2026 Best of Federal Way Awards. This community-driven honor hosted by the Federal Way Mirror reflects the deep impact Rena has on her students and colleagues alike. Her commitment to the excellence in the classroom exemplifies what it means to be an opportunity maker for our scholars. Congratulations, Rena, on this well-deserved recognition from our Federal Way community. We are FWPS proud of you. Okay, we are very proud and excited to recognize 16 of our schools for their incredible leadership in implementing sustainable composting systems. Since our district-wide launch 6 months ago, our scholars and staff have diverted over 280 tons of organic waste from landfills, the equivalent weight of 6 gray whales. Staff and students representing our Composting Conqueror schools, please come forward to be recognized. We want to celebrate 12 of our elementary schools and 4 secondary schools for their dedication to this program. We would like to give a special highlight to Sunnycrest and Lakeland Elementary Schools, who've gone above and beyond to successfully integrating composting into their breakfast and the classroom program as well. Your commitment to environmental stewardship and waste reduction is setting a powerful example for our entire community. Thank you for your hard work and leading towards a greener future. Okay, congratulations to our scholars who competed at the 5th annual Thomas Jefferson Invitational Speech and Debate Tournament. Scholars and coaches, come forward if you're here to be recognized. So this year, 52 competitors from 5 of our schools participated in the culminating event where they were monitored.
Director Phillips, I know we have speech and debate champions out there. If you can come on up, I met a couple of you earlier and so did Director Phillips.
Yeah.
Come on, there you go. Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, get right in there. Go ahead. Get in the middle. Get in the middle. Okay. We are proud to announce this year's champions. Nautilus K-8 earned the elementary school title. Sacagawea and Lakota Middle School tied for middle school champions. And we would like to celebrate our top overall speakers. Evelyn Buchan from Lakota Middle School, who took first place in all 3 categories. And Charlie Davis from Nautilus K-8, who earned first place in 2 categories. To all scholars who earned superior ratings and competed with such courage and skill, we are proud of you. Congratulations on your excellence in communication. Congratulations to the Federal Way High School Thespian Troupe 3541 with their historic success at the Washington State Thespian Festival in Seattle. Come on up. Students and support staff, please come forward to be recognized. Here they come. A group of 29 scholars represented our district with absolute excellence. The troupe's main stage cutting of The Diary of Anne Frank won an excellent rating, but the highlights didn't stop there. After a perfect 100 out of 100 presentation on their outreach and artistry, Troop 3541 was named an honor troop and won gold. Congratulations. We also want to celebrate two outstanding adults who supported our theater group. Parent volunteer Rhonda Widger received the Service Above Self Award, and substitute teacher Jessica Morse was honored with the Inspirational Teacher Award. Congratulations to our actors, technicians, and supporters for their phenomenal gold achievement. Congratulations all. Okay, and our last but not least, congratulations to our FWPS scholars for their incredible creativity and technical skill at the 8th Annual STEAM Film Festival Opportunity Makers. Our film festival winners and their teachers, if you're here this evening, please come forward to be recognized. This year, we received 18 impressive submissions from across the district. These scholars were challenged to produce 2-minute films that explored the world of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Through their lens, we saw imaginative storytelling and high-level production in the category of animation, live action, and documentary. We are so proud to celebrate these elementary and secondary winners who went above and beyond to showcase their artistry and innovation. Your work reminds us that when creativity meets technology, the possibilities are endless. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all those wonderful scholars and staff. Next item on the agenda is the Executive Limitation 3 presentation. Dr. Pfeiffer.
All right. Board team, as you know, annually, I provide an update related to my compliance of the executive limitations that you have set for me as superintendent. This evening, we'll be providing evidence of that compliance. Executive Limitations 3 is all about financial and asset protection. I'm going to invite our Chief Finance Officer, Rob Bryant, to provide this information to you on my behalf. Rob.
Good evening, Board President Dr. Jones, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. Pfeiffer. This evening, I am pleased to share our work around Executive Limitation 3, financial and asset protection. The purpose of tonight's presentation is to provide the interpretation and evidence of Executive Limitation 3, reflective of the work and actions completed over the last year. Executive Limitation 3 focuses on the financial health and asset protection of the district. This work is a collaborative effort grounded in the strategic plan and strengthened through school level and cross-departmental aligning. Executive Limitation 3, Financial and Asset Protection, is comprised of 5 different key components. EL3A, Financial and Budget Planning, EL3B, Budget Execution, EL3C, Financial Condition, EL3D, Asset Protection, and EL3E, Real Property and Facilities Protection. Moving forward, I will cover the highlights of the work that supports each of these EL areas. EL3A, Financial and Budget Planning, requires a budget development and adoption process reflective of state law and local administrative policy that is aligned with our strategic plan. So as a reminder, the 25-26 budgets for the 5 funds, General Fund, Capital Fund, Transportation Vehicle Fund, Debt Service Fund, and Associated Student Body Fund, were approved by the board following a public hearing on August 26, 2025. The 25-26 budget was built on conservative revenue and enrollment projections. It also aligned resources to strategic priorities, reduced central office expenditures, adjusted staffing to align with enrollment, and planned for future budget reductions. The 26-27 budget adoption is scheduled for August 25, 2026. Key assumptions that will be incorporated into the budget include enrollment forecasts, expectations about inflation and revenue, staffing considerations, the need for ongoing legislative support, anticipated funding changes, and targeted reductions to maintain the fiscal stability. As the 26-27 budget is developed, we will ensure it supports district priorities, remains fiscally responsible, and meets state requirements. To elaborate further, in that budget development work, we will focus on outcomes such as maximizing resources through grants, structuring our resources to ensure that the strategic plan is supported, providing competitive compensation for our staff, ensuring that we follow best practices and the state's regulatory guidance for budget preparation, and actively tracking enrollment and working with our demographer to forecast future trends using birth rates, housing, migration, and historical data. EL3B, Budget Execution, monitors the actual expenditures and accounting practices of the district to ensure that the budget is implemented and followed as expected. Evidence of compliance with EL3B includes monthly financial statements that are prepared in accordance with guidance from the OSBI School District Accounting Manual and in line with generally accepted accounting principles. The statements are regularly submitted for board approval and monitoring. EL3B also includes annual financial statements for all our funds that are completed on time and submitted to OSBI in accordance with OSBI requirements. In addition, these annual financial statements are reviewed by the State Auditor's Office each year. The annual audit also includes financial statement testing, federal compliance testing, and internal controls testing. And the audit for 24-25 is completed and just awaiting the exit conference. Additional financial disclosure and reports, such as our federal IRS tax reportings and continuing disclosure requirements around our bonds, are submitted on a timely basis. Next, we will focus on EL3C and the evidence of compliance related to our diligent protection of the district's financial health and condition. A key indicator of financial health is the year-end unassigned fund balance. For 2024-25, the district closed its books with a 5% ending unassigned minimum fund balance in compliance with Administrative Policy 6024. In addition to the 5%, an additional 2.44% was available as unassigned fund balance to continue to support one-time needs. The district also aligned staffing to enrollment and reduced central administration costs. Looking ahead to 2026-27 and beyond, deliberate and planned reductions will be required to stay fiscally stable. We also continue to partner with state and local leaders to address funding gaps and inequities. And we are also collecting the Educational Programs and Operations Levy, EP&O levy, at the full voter authorization in calendar year 2026. This slide provides a visual of the district's EP&O tax rates, both pre and post McCleary. Prior to McCleary, the district's EP&O tax rate was $3.60. Post McCleary, and by law, the tax rate was reduced to $1.50 in 2019. Through board and superintendent leadership, these rates were maintained near that level in subsequent years. For calendar year 2026, the rate is set at $1.76. And as you know, the current maximum allowable rate is $2.50, which is what voters approve beginning in calendar year 2027. The recent passage of our EP&O levy provides for our schools, and the community support reflects the value that this community places on our students and our schools. Thank you again to our voters. Need a little help here. There we go. The last two ELs, EL3D and EL3E, shift from financial operations to that of asset protection. EL3D, asset and facilities protection, states that the district will maintain comprehensive insurance that protects district assets and that the district will maintain controls and safeguards over assets and property. The district's property and liability insurance is provided through the Washington School Risk Management Pool, which distributes risk across the approximately 80 to 90 member districts to help mitigate exposure and stabilize premiums. Despite this structure, costs have increased more than 160% over the past 5 years, and we are projecting an additional $1.3 million increase for the 26-27 school year. This trend has been a key driver behind the statewide advocacy for increased MSOC funding rates. To strengthen internal controls over cash receipting, the district has expanded access to point-of-sale systems and cashless payment options, including online donation and ticketing platforms that improve family and community access while reducing cash handling across our schools. And finally, the district's internal control systems are independently reviewed by the state auditor's office. The most recent report identified no deficiencies in internal controls. And lastly, EL3E focuses on real property and facilities protection. As you are aware, and referring to the map on the slide, Federal Way Public Schools boundaries expand beyond just the city of Federal Way, touching the cities of Auburn, Des Moines, Kent, Milton, and unincorporated King County. We have 43 school and support building sites, which make up approximately 2.7 million square feet of buildings. The state currently provides approximate funding of $221 per average annual full-time equivalent for building maintenance. EL3E requires that the district must ensure district facilities are adequate, safe, clean, inviting, and conducive to teaching and learning. Some of the supporting work that provides evidence to EL3E includes the results of the annual asset preservation report, which entails a regular process that inspects and documents every aspect of every building and site built after 1993. And in addition, the district complies with a building condition assessment performed by OSPI every 6th year. Other evidence includes the commitment to improve building safety, including entry points with intercoms and video displays, as well as key card technology for staff entry and intrusion alarms. The district's facility use software program provides easier room and field reservations and improved reporting. And the work towards green building energy efficiency requirements includes grants for energy saving projects such as solar, LED lighting, and so on and so forth. And thank you for allowing us to share our evidence in support of the EL3.
Thank you for that presentation. Board members, are there any questions?
I don't think I have any questions. I just wanted to say, at the beginning of the year, we approve our executive limitations and kind of review all of our policies. So I want the community to know it is a policy that the board has set. And then what I appreciate is we actually get, we touch this policy every 2 weeks, either through our agenda, our one-on-ones, our 2-on-1s, our work studies, our briefing. So it really is kind of a living policy that we get updated on pretty regularly. So by the time we get here, we end up knowing, so much about our budget and our assets and where we are and kind of how the district is functioning overall. I think we've really been briefed heavily as we went through the legislative session, which I personally appreciated. You hear numbers about how these policies impact us or take away, and then how we've just right-sized or adjusted as we've done. So I just want to say thank you, because I think being a steward of our taxpayer dollars is such a huge responsibility, and it covers so much of the city. And I'm always impressed when I can say, like, this district is a stabilizing backbone of Federal Way and the cities around us, and it continues to do well, and it makes me be able to sleep at night, knowing that this is being managed. And I know you always give credit to your team and the hard work that kind of backs us up. So just thanks for your work on this and continuing to follow the policy, not only tightly, but just making sure we're all well informed. Because I did not go to school for finance, and we should cheer. But I appreciate that you continue to make sure that we're caught up to speed on everything. So thank you.
Always glad to see we're ending with that. We ended with a 5% balance. That's great. And really appreciate your work on keeping us financially responsible and able to cover all the needs.
Okay. I still don't understand why by law we were forced to reduce from $3.60 down to 150. I mean, I know it's been explained to me 100 times, and I'm sure you'll continue to explain it to me. I did have an opportunity to go to a conference, and one of the men that was there presenting, he's the only teacher that's on that committee for the budget of schools. And so I hope to make connections with him a little bit more. What I did like what he said was that we really do need a McCleary 2.0. So I think that's good news. Well, we'll see. And then I don't understand what GoFan is. How do you use that? How do you use that?
Yeah, sure. It is basically a online ticketing platform that allows families and individuals to go out and purchase tickets to go to events.
Like the events at Memorial Field are some of our athletic events. And Director Murphy, related to your EL3C and the EP&O tax rates, the reason we declined again was set by McCleary. They set a limit for school districts, so that came out of the state, and that was offset by regionalization and other factors that contributed to finances coming into the school district. But the state set that. You're either a per pupil or you're a rate district, and we are a rate district. And as was shared earlier, we are community supported $2.50 per $1,000 of assessed value. And so you will see if he had another bar after 2026, you would see that rate go up to $2.50. But again, that was set by the state through the McCleary decision.
Thank you for that presentation. Next item on the agenda is the Tech Levy Instructional Technology Artificial Intelligence presentation. Dr. Pfeiffer.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Board team, annually, we'd like to provide an update related to our work around technology, both operational, the maintenance of technology, expansion, and most importantly, I think, is the instructional element of it that's supported through our technology levy dollars. And I want to just give it a shout out to the community for their continued support. So this evening, we're going to provide that update to you. And I'm going to ask our Chief Technology Officer, Rochelle Butts, to begin. But we are also there. We have Shay Eakes, our Director of Instructional Technology, and Dennis Purcell, Director of Remote and Blended Learning, also joining her this evening. Rochelle.
Good evening, Board President Dr. Jones, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. Pfeiffer. Tonight, we will be presenting our technology levy update. Presenting with me tonight is Dennis Purcell, Director of Remote and Blended Learning, and Shay Eakes, Director of Instructional Technology. The purpose of tonight's presentation is to provide a technology update on our continued work in Federal Way, supported by the Tech Levy, that aligns to Goal 2, 3, and 5 of our strategic plan and executive limitations 2 and 3. Tonight's update will share highlights of how the Tech Levy funding continues to enrich the learning experiences by supporting investment in scholar learning and instructional tools, investment in infrastructure, communication compliance, data protection, and cybersecurity. The tech levy funds are critical that support scholar and staff learning opportunities in using up-to-date technology tools. We understand the importance of preparing our scholars and developing industry standard skills on the same type of devices and programs used in the workforce. ITS is diligent in maximizing the life of every digital device throughout our system. Over the summer and through this year, ITS has been updating over 13,000 student devices to Windows 11 that are used at the high school level. We are also preparing to refresh almost 5,000 student devices that are coming to their expected end of life in phases over the next few years with the remaining tech levy funds. Levy funds enhance access to curriculum, digital resources, STEAM nights, family academies, and summer school. They provide hands-on learning opportunities in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and provide accessibility enhancements like speech to text, research tools, and literacy development supports. The levy continues to support standardized technology access across all schools. Every main instructional space has the same type of instructional technology tools to support lesson delivery. We provide tools that adapt and grow with scholars, such as interactive display panels and software subscriptions that provide adaptive learning. We maintain operational support to staff, so staff can work efficiently and safely. And we are continuing our work to increase internet fiber bandwidth and speed. These critical funds support and pay for student tech levy internships or student tech internships. These are paid internships, provide HP certification, equipping students with real-world tech skills to go out in the workforce. Provides career pathways. Some of our interns transition directly into tech jobs requiring these certifications. Summer internship expansions. These are internships opportunities that increase during summer months. We have expanded internship opportunities to include cybersecurity in partnership with CTE programs. We've been able to fund up to 15 summer internships and sustain between 3 and 5 interns throughout the year. At this time, I would like to invite Shay Eakes, Director of Instructional Technology and Innovation, to dive deeper into some of the aspects of the tech levy investing in scholar learning, instructional tools, and staff.
Good evening. The community's investment through the technology levy directly supports student learning, teacher capacity, and future-ready classrooms across Federal Way Public Schools. A key focus of this investment is professional learning for staff. We provide professional development to all staff in August through our 4+1 days and have an instructional technology coach in every building. We provide tools to create 21st century learning spaces where teachers can differentiate instruction, increase participation, and ensure entry points for all learners, from small group work to real-time feedback. Instructional technology also maintains multilingual resources for families, ongoing professional development, and just-in-time supports. Technology levy funds ensure equitable access to high-quality STEAM experiences. Our district now supports more FIRST robotics teams than ever before. This year, multiple Federal Way Public School teams earned regional awards and 3 advanced to LEGO League semifinals. We've also established our first official FIRST robotics competition practice zone at ES24, giving high school teams a central equitable training space. The Instructional Technology Department supports multi-year project-based STEM learning across K-8 schools, and this is vertically aligned with high school CTE and career programs of study. This ensures every scholar, beginning as early as 2nd grade, experiences authentic STEM learning tied to future careers. Finally, technology levy funding enables district-wide STEAM events, such as Hour of Code and STEAM Exploration Night, where scholars and families engage with over 150 hands-on experiences alongside industry and community partners. This year's event welcomed more than 3,200 attendees. At this time, I'd like to invite Dennis Purcell, Director of Remote and Blended Learning, to share how the community's tech levy investment continues to strengthen digital citizenship, online learning, and safe navigation of our digital landscape for scholars, staff, and families.
Good evening. Digital citizenship is a critical component of our instruction. Students need to learn about their digital identity, ethical behavior, rules around intellectual property, and digital privacy. We've integrated digital citizenship lessons into our social emotional learning and advisory lessons. Digital citizenship serves as the foundation as we introduce and use new technologies to our scholars, including artificial intelligence. In this image, you see scholars engaged in student talk around an in-class project, supported by artificial intelligence or AI tools. At its best, AI should enhance our thinking and learning and not replace it. Federal Way Public Schools is committed to implementing AI thoughtfully and cautiously, ensuring alignment with state guidelines. Our AI principles ensure human-centered approach. AI supports and enhances learning without replacing creativity or scholar-staff interactions. Classroom integration. Any AI tools used must enhance teaching, learning, and critical thinking. Student access restrictions. AI resources undergo rigorous vetting before approval for use. And data privacy protection. Safeguards are in place to support student information security. Our goal now is to make sure our schools, teachers, and scholars have a clear understanding of expectations around AI, and that these discussions are part of the discourse of our classrooms throughout the year. Just as our expectations for positive student-to-student interactions are weaved into learning throughout the year. We're working with students to generate templates for what student co-created expectations can look like for the responsible and safe use of AI. I was recently able to engage with Juan Rodriguez's Avid class scholars at Federal Way High School. They posed many questions about AI and asked for clear guidance to ensure that the tools be used safely and in a way that promotes critical thinking and creativity. After engaging in one of the targeted AI digital citizenship lessons in which they review a series of behaviors, some that are fully human-centered and some that depend completely on AI, the students discussed and determined what is fair and responsible and what is cheating. This led to rich discussions and letters that included the following letter and quote from one senior. AI would be used as a tool for refinement and improvement, not creation. It ensures the student's original thought and effort remain at the core of the work. This class modeled the discussion we want for all our scholars, an understanding of what responsible use can look like to demystify the tool, and an agreement on what is fair and what's not. With a baseline of state and district guidance and the opportunity for co-creation of guidelines with scholars, we're striving to create a better understanding of AI responsible use while keeping scholar thought and effort at the core of the work. We're thoughtful about the implementation of AI platforms for teachers and students, keeping student and teacher data safety as a top priority. Any tool should always act as an assistant, always leaving the human as the lead for thinking and learning. Staff have access to AI tools for customizing lessons, checking student citations, creating scoring rubrics, and for enhancing core instruction for a variety of needs. Student-facing tools use contained AI technology, analyzing learning patterns within a secure environment. Many curriculum tools like iReady, Edia, Carnegie, and Mathia offer individualized learning and support without sharing data outside of our district's domain. For high school scholars, we carefully introduce industry-relevant AI tools that build career and life skills, ensuring they are age-appropriate and vetted for educational value. We're exploring student-facing generative AI tools to determine impact on student academic success. These tools all have guardrails built in so that they enhance and support learning as an assistant, while not replacing our thinking or the thinking of scholars. Federal Way was awarded 2 competitive state grants that allow us to thoughtfully explore how AI can support our existing research-based work. One is the Gates grant focused on improving how 9th grade success data is analyzed. We're exploring how students, families, and counselors could use conversational AI to better understand progress, plan next steps, and think about futures aligned to students' interests, while always keeping tools human-centered and directing students back to trusted adults in their schools. We were also awarded the Microsoft Elevate grant, making us one of only 2 districts statewide to receive both grants. This work is not additive. It strengthens Tier 1 instruction by supporting sheltered strategies, multilingual learners, and our board-approved curriculum. Across both grants, our goal is to gather evidence of impact so we can determine whether these tools are effective and worth continued investment for student learning. I would now like to hand it back over to Rochelle Butts to discuss investment in infrastructure, communication, safety, and security.
The tech levy helps to supplement the enhancements to our network, which is the backbone for assessing or accessing learning resources and for the critical operations of the district. Key items such as our managed phone system has allowed us to provide vital communication features that extend outside our physical district boundary. We are able to provide modernized communication systems, emergency compliance, real-time alert capabilities, and seamless integration. We have been able to continue upgrading our critical infrastructure that is the backbone for internet connectivity. The tech levy continues to allow enhanced network stability, supporting stable school connectivity for both wired and wireless environments, emergency connectivity, expanded internet access in partnership with the City of Federal Way and King County Fire and Rescue, improved infrastructure across schools, the new high-capacity network switches installed across multiple schools allow for that, and stronger wireless access and coverage. Enhanced cybersecurity measures ensure online safety through upgraded firewalls, routers, and web filters that block malicious activity and aligns to executive limitations 3, financial and asset protection. Through our strengthened email security, reliable data protection, improved disaster recovery, managed detection and response services, and advanced web filtering. Thank you to the voters and our school board directors for your continued commitment to support our scholars' learning experiences. Thank you for the opportunity to bring this update to you tonight.
Thank you for that presentation. Board members, are there any questions?
So back on 15, where we talk about student facing, are these 3 AI specifically only to school districts? Can the kids access it from their home? Such as a Mathia and Colleague.
Yeah, these are tools that are, the math tools are available in our Launchpad. So these are part of our single sign-on system. Typically, these are tied to lessons, specific lessons. Colleague is one that they can only access if a teacher has set up a class. And right now we have a very targeted pilot group of teachers that are trying that out. So it is not available to all students. And any generative AI features in that, chat tools have guardrails. They're designed to not just give answers or generate work, but to take a Socratic approach, ask questions, and coach.
And then you had mentioned something about the cost, like with the Microsoft is that we are getting like a trial to explore the Microsoft Elevate. You had indicated something about the cost of investment and that we're one of two to receive the two grants.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, what kind of cost is it to us and, minor detail?
Sure. That Microsoft Elevate grant was a $75,000 grant, and that's helping pay for training for teachers who are trying out the tools. It's also providing, we have a partnership with the University of Washington who developed Colleague AI. So we're able to pay for some student-facing features that we're trying out to see if there's impact. And it's also helping us pay for some of the infrastructure, which we're trying to understand this new economy of artificial intelligence. What are those things that we need to account for fiscally?
Director Murphy, a point of clarification, it's not costing us anything. It's we are recipients
Right.
of the grants, and we're one of two districts in the entire state to have received both
And that's
grants.
awesome. But does that mean that when the grant is over, that we would then be looking at a cost? That's what I'm asking.
Well, we don't know that yet. That's the whole part of exploration in the grant, but part of this is building our own capacity within the system to absorb any absorb any costs. It's not really, it's something that already exists in our infrastructure.
Okay. I think I only had those two. Yeah, that was it. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. Next item on the agenda is approval of the superintendent contract extension. At this time, we'll entertain a motion.
I move the Board of Education approve a one-year contract extension for Superintendent Dr. Danny Pfeiffer through June 2022.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Sure. I'll just say, thank you so much for your leadership and the work that you've put into the organization. It has been impressive to just see what we've done in such trying times. I know we're navigating a lot between budgets and schools and needs. And even tonight we heard about property and buildings and bonds and levies. And it has been a lot. It has been a testament to not only your dedication, but your investment in Federal Way Public Schools. So we appreciate I appreciate all the work that you have put into our district.
I also appreciate all that work, especially being brand new to the board, and really appreciate all the explanations that you give me for all these things I'm learning. So thank you.
And I'd like to echo what my two colleagues have stated, that the leadership that you have shown is exemplary, and it is a very, very complicated job that you have, and you do it with grace and calm demeanor, and it's hard to imagine a better person in this position. Thank you.
In my long career in education, I've had numerous superintendents, and Dr. Pfeiffer by far is the best. She not only has the administrative skills, she has the personal skill. You can tell her sports coming out, keeping the team together and focused. And, it's just a really wonderful thing to watch. And the kids love it too. So, yeah, I've experienced different superintendents, and some of them were purely administrative. And yeah, the spirit wasn't there. So I appreciate her.
I have one thing to add. Dr. Pfeiffer, you've taken on a big task, and especially during COVID and recovering from that is a big deal. And so I appreciate, and I'm sure a lot of people appreciate, and families and administrators appreciate the work that you've done to get us back on track, with the school district. And we still have a long way to go, but you keep saying, you say it, and we know it. But I do believe that you'll get us where we need to be. And so I'm so appreciative that you even want to be here and continue to stay. So thank you for that.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
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 Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is superintendent comments. Dr. Pfeiffer?
If I just might take a point here, first of all, great things happen because of great teams. And so all of the, while I appreciate your comments, I want to begin with just humility. All these people that are sitting in this room and those that are not in this room help carry our vision forward for students. And I want to thank all of them for being behind me 100%. And I want to thank you so much for your continued trust in me. Serving as the superintendent in our incredible community alongside all of you, a board of distinction and the 3,000 dedicated staff remains one of my greatest honors. Again, I thank you for this privilege, and I look forward to continuing to serve our school community, our families, and most importantly, our 21,500 students. So great things are still to come, and I can't wait to continue to serve until 2029. So appreciate you very much. So it's been a while since we were here in a formal school board meeting. We've had our student-led conferences, which were a great success. Then we had a nice, relaxing and restful spring break, and then a preschool information night where we packed the house at 120 families, more than we've ever had. We also, on April 21st, started our traditional Storming the Sound with our salmon release event. We do that in partnership with the City of Federal Way, and our fourth graders, third graders, and fifth graders, some third and fifth graders, get to participate in that exciting opportunity of release. And so tomorrow I get to participate. I believe it's our final day. It might be our final day. So I'm bringing a close to it. So I get to work with the kids and release the fry. And what's exciting is just this is culminating event for them as they learn and study about the salmon life cycle, environmental impacts, and so much more. So really, really great event, and I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Last week, I had the opportunity to visit with our Scholar Advisory to the superintendent meeting. They gave extraordinary feedback and insight, providing input to the report card around the behaviors that promote learning. And we did that crosswalk to the profile of a graduate competencies. So they were wise beyond their years, as always, and we are using that input to help influence and shape a revision, our behaviors that promote learning that will be aligned to the profile of a graduate competencies. So we're looking forward to that. We also, on that same evening, had an AVID showcase and then the Native Education College and Career Readiness event, Drumbeat to Your Heart. So if you haven't seen that, there's stuff online in our social media. Both were fabulous celebrations. Just a lot of shout out to our AVID teachers who continue to allow kids to showcase their brilliance, as well as our Native Education program. And then we finally, last Thursday, had our final Family Academy event of the year. About 420 families showed up. So we're going to continue to lean into those family academies and expand them at the school level for next year. Tomorrow night, we have 135 families, I think, right now, signed up for our Community Connect. That is excluding all of our staff. That begins at 5:45 tomorrow night. Thank you, Dr. Oberst, for hosting us at Always at Federal Way High School, 5:45 to 7. Looking forward to hearing things that are going well, opportunities to strengthen, and then some solutions coming directly from our families. So join us if you haven't registered. Then on Saturday, we have our annual elementary track district jogathon and meet that happens at Federal Way Memorial. It's an event that we always we look forward to. We'll get to watch the little athletes. They've trained all year long. They're perfecting their track and field skills. And so several of us will be joining and cheering them along as they do their district jogathon and then the meet. Then next week, we have our Battle of the Books competition. And of course, our first school board recognition night, that happens on Thursday. And then I just want to give two shout outs of things that have happened that you may or may not be aware of. If you're looking at social media, we had senior Omar Cerna from Decatur High School, who won 2 back-to-back competitions, with the most recent being in the Skills USA Washington Manufacturing Assembler state competition. He is the first time Decatur's program has ever won a state in advance to compete at the Skills USA National Leadership and Skills Conference. So it's a really, really big thing. And then last week, we had our grand opening of our Employment Transition Program, or ETP. They launched their first coffee cart, Grounds for Growth. And so if you're at the district office and you want a cup of hot chocolate or an espresso or a latte, that crew there is going to pour you one that's exceptional. I got to have their first cup. We got to do a ribbon cutting, and it was just absolutely tremendous event. So stop on by. They operate it Monday through Thursday. Fridays they take off because they're retraining and cleaning and things of that nature. So come on by and they'll serve you up. So something to really be proud of. Definitely setting the pace in ETP programming. So again, thank you very much for your trust, and it's a privilege to serve our incredible community.
Thank you, Dr. Pfeiffer. Next item on the agenda is school board comments, beginning with Director Gollings.
Great. Well, it was great to hear about all these wonderful things that are going on in the schools. I really appreciated hearing the Silver Lake song. I don't know how many of our schools have their own song. A lot of elementary. Yeah. I think that's the first board meeting where I've gotten to hear it. Yeah. So really appreciated that. Also loved hearing about the families, helping families. Great way to connect the community here through the place where everybody has their children. So thank you for that work. And what the kids had to say about their school, that was really precious. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Director Phillips.
Sure. I have a couple of things. One, I just wanted to say thank you. I know in our approvals agenda, we actually approved a donation to an anonymous donation to Decatur High School's Drama Club. And I just wanted to say thank you to that anonymous donor, because it's just a testament to the investment in our schools for somebody to make such a large donation and really care about the kids in our community. So I do go through those things, and it was really just heartwarming to see. Today, I got to spend some time checking in on Green Gables Elementary School, which was fantastic. I got to walk with Dr. Pfeiffer and see kind of our board policies in action in the classroom. I think some of the highlights was seeing the handwriting, seeing everybody focused on their math instruction. I really enjoyed spending time and seeing the ETP classroom. Nope, I'm tired. FCP program, our functional core programming, twice in music and in the classroom, and seeing scholars like really engaged was just not only heartwarming, but they were doing work. There were music lessons. There's movement and learning expectations and progress monitoring happening in the classroom for every scholar. So it was just really heartwarming to see. And the engagement of community. They have a very strong art docent program, and I'm just kind of blown away with some of the arts that they do there. So that, and then thank you for allowing us to come to your school. This is also in my area. Can I claim my area? I mean, I love all schools equally, but this is in my area. And I do enjoy always coming back here. I really loved hearing about the code greens and celebrating the wins, but also just the regulation stations and continuing to meet the needs of our community. So thanks for having us in.
Thank you. Vice President Davis.
Hello, everyone. This has been a great meeting, and the presentations, of course, as always, are informational. So, it keeps me abreast of what's going on. Some of the things that are coming to mind for me is that, in a couple of months, we'll be sending our young people into the world, college, jobs, and other opportunities. My concern is that they will not be received in the ways that they've been prepared or their authentic selves. So the problem that I'm having right now is that how do we keep them encouraged that the world is going to be okay for them and that everything's going to be okay for them. I worry about them like they're my own children because I've had to go through that when we had COVID and they were not in school for a while and they had to deal with all this after the fact. But what makes me really my positive thinking is that I know that this district, our superintendent, our teachers, our administrators, our principals are doing the work to prepare them and get them ready and to remind them that this world is all about them at this point, and also that they have support and they will be okay. So I think about those things, and the other things that I think about is that that we have done a lot as a district. I keep acting like I work at the district, but there are so many things that have been created for these kids. They have created, newer apprenticeship programs and pathways to success and employment with, apprenticeship programs. But we have young people that are so brilliant in athletics, in their academics, in thespians, as so many things that it says that I'm ready for the world, but is the world ready for me? So I am going to keep, hoping that when our children, our young people get out there, that they'll be okay. And we know that in a few months, like I said, not even a month or a few days, that we're going to have kids crossing the stage. And we want to make sure that they're going to be okay. But we want them to not be disencouraged. We want to keep encouraging them that it's going to be okay, that you will be okay with going into work and college and all these things that you want to aspire to be. And we can't let them feel like, no, this is not for you. No, this is not for that. No, we're doing exactly what we need to do for them. And I appreciate these teachers and I appreciate these principals and I appreciate the administration that keeps coming up with ways and programs to figure out how do we get them ready for their next, flight in life. It is what it is. I had to do it for my children that left the school district in 2022 after the COVID situation, and it's a lot. And so I have a lot of it's heavy on my mind right now for these children, but I just want to stay encouraged for them. I want to be able to encourage them and not be pessimistic, but be, encouraging for them and their families that they're going to be okay. And I like the fact that we have a superintendent that decided it's okay. I am going to stay here one more year. Thank you, Dr. Pfeiffer, that you're going to stay here one more year, because you could have said, I don't need this extension. I'm out. So I'm so happy that you are okay with this new extension and all that. So I'm glad that we're going to keep pushing forward for our young people. So I just say, we want to say, we hear people say, we want to say, oh, well, we want to be united. Do we really want to be united under one this or that or other? Then we need to prove to our kids that we do want to be united and we want them to be successful. So thank you to Dr. Pfeiffer and her staff and her cabinet and all these people that keep working towards making these children realize that life is going to go on, and we'll be okay, and that, all of that. So it's a hard sell, but when we stand on that stage and shake the hands of those kids when they come across that stage, I'm hoping that we are in a better place and we're sending them into a better place. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So thank you.
Thank you. Director Murphy.
Well, I love that Director Davis mentioned the word united. Today, we had a very eventful situation where the King of England was here visiting, and I loved his speech. He said, "We cannot rest on our past accomplishments, or that foundational principles can endure." And we do have our 250th anniversary. We are very blessed to be Americans. There's so many people, as we all know, wanting into this country. And it's an opportunity to celebrate us. And we have so many migrants, new people into this country that we need to share that. And one of our former presidents said that we do not pass our heritage down through the blood. It has to be taught. It has to be fought for. It has to be respected and gained in each generation. So the National School Board of Coalition has a program where they would like for school districts to celebrate and to make a deliberate effort. I had an opportunity to teach highly capable, and we spent an entire year on law and justice. And we did some incredible things. One of the things that I did on the Declaration of Independence, I gave each kiddo a little statement, and then the kids got to draw out and illustrate, and their drawings were phenomenal. And we made it into a quilt, and I want to pass it down so you can see a way that they can incorporate it. They can do, so that was a quilt. They can write essays, they can write poems, they can be a news reporter interviewing people. So there's a lot of creative ways for them to feel empowered and a part of this 250th anniversary. And yeah, maybe we can squeeze it in May, touch of June. Or even, the fact that we've had the celebration, we're still in that same year. So maybe we can continue the theme in the fall. So that's what I want to say. I hope that we can unite. I think we are very blessed to be in this country. We've survived a lot. Our best allies are the Germans and the Japanese that we fought against ferociously. And I know we can unite in this country. Thank you. And I want to share this. I'm going to pass this down, and I'm hoping maybe in our work study, we can review it and give it some thought.
Thank you, Director Murphy. I would like to also thank the principal and the scholars of Silver Lake for inviting us to share their achievements and accomplishments. I was impressed to see the improvements in reading and math, and to see the work you're doing on vocabulary and the Wonders curriculum. I also was impressed with the Code Green, where you're the rapid response to scholars doing what they're supposed to do, positive good behavior being rewarded, the attendance to promote attendance. We're still working on that as a district, as a country. All the family and evening events that you're holding. I saw the notice for the lunch with the families as I was coming into the building, saw that. And the support that the community is giving to the PBIS store. So that's really impressive as well. Breakfast in the classroom, which we learned about in our work study, how that's really helping settle the students in the mornings and having them unite around, having breakfast together and before they start their day. And I was also really impressed with the young people who read their essays about how much they enjoy their school, what they appreciate about their school, and I noted that they love their teachers. That was something that really stood out, that they all talked about how much they really enjoy their teachers. And of course, the song, By the Shores of Silver Lake. You cannot replicate that kind of spirit and feeling that those young people have for their school. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that that really wonderful welcome to your school. And with that, I believe we are, go ahead.
Marla. I get enough acknowledgement. And I want to celebrate Marla.
Thank you for that as well. And with that, we are adjourned.